Hi, welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode, I want to talk about divorce preparation involving money and finance. In the context of preparing for a divorce, it's important for you to gather information and think things through. Unless you are in a physically or psychologically or emotionally challenging situation where you need to pick up and leave and you can't go step by step, that it's an emergency situation, these things should be done in where you are physically and if you have children or pets safe. But if this was a breakdown situation, or you look back and think that there was a mistake, or one party has wandered off the page to another person and you have some more time, then if you can use that more time, then these are factors that are going to help you in the long run, so that when you get the divorce and the relationship is terminated, you are on good financial footing. Another thing that occurred to me when I was going through these factors is that if you are in a situation where there's trouble in paradise or a lot of financial strain, it might be a good exercise for the two of you to go through these things, and it might repair your relationship. There are a lot of financial components to divorce, and it's a big stressor that a lot of couples have, and it's possible maybe this will help you avoid that, what you think is an eventuality. All right, so here are the items that you're going to need to have and the exercises to go through to get that information that you will then need to give to a divorce attorney in order to proceed on the financial side. First thing is income tax returns, bank statements. Where are the bank statements? The individual ones for each party and the joint ones. How much money is in them? And you want to have 4 to 6 months worth, if you can, to see spending habits and where money is going. Next, you want wage and 1099 information on wages from all jobs, from part-time jobs, and if there is any cash, if somebody collects tips, what are their tips? You should have a record of those tips. And if anyone does house cleaning or any other types of cash business, what is that and it might be yours, what is that income? And in that context, over the last year, have there been any changes over that period of time, or have there been any recent changes, more or less, and why? You also want to identify child support that one side might pay or one side might get as a result of a former relationship, because those amounts figure in different ways in different states, and some of that money might not count at all. So you want to be aware of what that money being paid out or being received is. What is your tax situation? Now, I said you want to have a few years worth of tax returns, but this particular year, when you're going through this, what is your tax situation? Have all of your tax bills been paid? Have you filed taxes? Have you received a refund? Where are you in the year? On a couple of other videos, but on December 31, your marital status determines your tax options for that year that December 31 ends on. So if you get divorced on December 29th, you're now divorced as of December 31st, so you do not have the married filing jointly options, and deductions and credits and everything follows your marital status, whether you're married or not. So that is something to be aware of and to use that information to plan. While you're going through your bank statements online, print them, because sometimes they're not always available. If you have hard copies, keep those. You want to look through those for automatic payments that are going out and also automatic payments coming in. What are they for? How often do they come? Have there been any changes? As far as payments going out, are you using whatever it is those are being paid for? Can you clip some of those items off, cancel them, change the amount, and who uses whatever that payment is for? Track all of that. Then look through your monthly payments, not just the ones that are coming out automatically, and do the same analysis. Are there things on there that are necessary? Are there things that are luxuries? Are there things on there that are subscriptions that you forgot about? Have you stopped going to the gym? Can you get out of that contract? Are there payments that were for one of your kids on an activity they don't participate in anymore? Are you having contributions to a charity or contributions to a religious group and you don't participate anymore? Look at those things and identify what's it for. Is it necessary? Is it desired or not? And then you can make those kinds of changes and adjustments. And also then between the two spouses, who is getting the benefit from that, so that you can assign that when it comes to the divorce. What about health care? Look at the health care, the deductible, who's paying for that, what the benefits are. Is it out of one spouse's earnings? Is it out of their related to their job? Also daycare expenses. These are ongoing routine expenses that are going to have to be considered when you get to dividing up the household. And one more thing, going back to your bank statements, track the cash. Who is taking cash out and when and why, and what is that cash being used for? Sometimes you might be doing it to budget for groceries, and so you assign, this is how much we're going to spend on this, so we take that out and then that's what we use for groceries. But oftentimes that's where a lot of money leaks out. It's used for coffees, it's used for impulse purchases, not always. Maybe it's for permission slips or activities for the kids. But you want to know what that is and where is it going, and where is the majority of that cash coming from? Is it from one of the wage earners versus the other? Did you take a particular part-time job to earn money for these extras? Are you going to still be able to do that once you're no longer married? Have you refinanced your house? Can you refinance your house? Have you extended the lease on your apartment or condo or house? Can you do that? Look at what those big expenses are. Oftentimes your refinance will include both parties' income. Maybe in the divorce you want to have one party get the house or not. If you're getting along in a business type way, you just don't have the romance anymore and you don't want to be married to each other. If you can do things together that will benefit both of you before you file for divorce, do that. Do you want to sell the house and then just break up the money and each of you be prepared to go and start your separate lives? Think about these things, but look at the amounts, look at the interest rate, how much equity you have. Is one party going to need the equity out in order to get another place? How is that going to work? And look at those mechanics, and maybe you can work together to change those amounts, or like I said, sell the property now. Do you have a prenuptial agreement? The prenuptial agreement primarily deals with assets that were brought into the marriage, and so that is information that you're going to want to know to meet with your divorce attorney, because those are assets that don't need to be divided because they never were mixed together. The prenup also usually states how an individual asset can become a joint asset. So you want to revisit those provisions and identify what stayed as his or hers and hers, or his and his, and what became mixed. And then that's going to be relevant for when you meet with your divorce attorney. Do you have family money, a trust fund? Does somebody have a trust fund? Has someone died since you were married? Are there particular business assets or other vacation homes or land that belongs to one side or the other because it's part of the kids in their family, and that would not be subject to divorce? You want to still identify those things and talk to your attorney about it to see, is this part of the marital estate that will be divided or not? But can't give you advice about it unless they have the information. So you want to collect that as well. Do you have a family business, you and your spouse, or one of you? Do you know what's going on in that business? How long has it been going on? If you both are owners, is one a majority and one is not? What's going on in the business? Is it going to be practical for you to work together? Do you even work together? Or is it a passive investment or a company that owns rental property? Can you divide if you have more than one, can you just separate those companies in that way so that you will take one and she will take the other? What are your other debts? Main obligation, which is where you live, but what about credit cards and installment loans? Do you know which credit cards each one of you used? Do you use some of them together? Do you have them assigned separately? Does anybody have any secret ones? Looking at the bank accounts and bank statements will help you figure this out, but you need to have a handle on this so that you know what the debts are, because in a divorce, not only the income in assets are divided, but also the debts. So you need to know what those are so that you can plan accordingly. Have college funds for your kids or for you if you're still going to school? Do you have tuition payments that are due? When are those due? Is there another one coming up soon? Can that impact when you file and when you get divorced? Yes, because the bigger the number, the more important it can be in the long run, so you want to be aware of what those are. To the regular kids' expenses, what are their needs? Do they have braces? Do they have eye issues? Do they have other dental issues? What are their needs? What are they going to be? If you have 3 kids and one has already gone through orthodontics and you have 2 more coming up, be aware of that so that you can include that in all of your planning. Do they have sports? Do they have other activities that they're involved in? Are they in high school now? They're going to have prom type expenses. Going to be driving. Are they driving already? Are there extra car expenses related to those kids? Have any specific physical requirements or needs, or any counseling or mental requirements or speech therapy? What all of that is involved with the kids, both from a financial standpoint as far as money outlay or insurance coverage or payments, but also who gets them here and there. And does one party or the other in the couple take off time from work to go do that? Does one party have benefits through their job that helps with some of those? You want to really match things up, not to pick and choose at this point, but just so that you're aware of everything that there is coming in, everything that's going out, when it's going out, and then when is it coming in or going out, as far as when you're looking at it to time when you're going to get divorced. And then of course, if this helps in reconciling, bringing the 2 parties together to avoid the divorce, and you've gone through this analysis, then you're even that much farther ahead. So I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, give me a thumbs up, or if you learned something, leave any comments or questions below. Share this with someone who may benefit. Subscribe to see the other videos, and come back and see me next time. Thanks for watching.